So, does it serve to talk to people we disagree with? Is it helpful? Well, most of the time, most of us find it's not helpful, right? And that's largely, I think, because of the context of the conversation and the medium. Most of our conversations about important topics have shifted online. It's a really weird experience now, like in such a polarized time, to go out in the world and to see like no one's disagreeing. People are just cooperating and getting along and just kind of superficially going about their business and relating as humans. And then you go into the online world and there's just like these deep divisions and intense animosity because there's this split happening. It's like we talk about important things online instead of in person. And that's there's a lot of human empathy and connection and nuance that gets lost in that process. And I think that's one of the reasons we're getting so polarized. But in terms of the question, does it serve? Well, it depends on what the goal is. Like these online conversations, they definitely serve if your desire is to create more of a strengthening bond with your perceived in-group and to otherize the out-group more. So if that's what your goal is, then it's, yeah, engage in online debates, conversations with people you disagree with, because it's really good at doing that. It's really good at helping confirm that you're right and people that already agree with you, to like validate your perspective and to validate the perspective that the others are wrong, that the others are morally inferior in some way. So like if that's the interest, then yeah, these conversations are super productive if we're trying to divide people and obscure the truth. If we're trying to actually get at the truth and stay connected to our humanity, then we probably want a different context for the conversation. A lot of people confuse debates and arguments, and they think that a debate is just an argument. It's just two people coming in and like trying to win. And that's definitely what we see like more in the world these days, right? But the debate, which is really a lost art, it feels like now, but the whole idea of a debate is you don't debate as your ideas. You debate with your ideas. You say, this is how truth looks to me right now from my vantage point. That's how truth looks to you from your vantage point. So we're going to play these ideas out in the ring together because we're both mutually interested in seeing which idea wins and how the ideas have to evolve in order to, successfully withstand the pressure intellectually of being, pushed on by other ideas. That's what a whole debate is about. And if we're actually not trying to win and we're not too attached to our ideas, well, then a debate could be really helpful. But I just don't see most people are not at that place where they're interested in debating because most of us are too attached to our ideas. The other context that could be helpful for having a conversation, one that I really miss, is just the context of I want to understand you. I want to understand where you're coming from so that I can deeply feel you and understand your perspective. I'm not trying to change your perspective. I just want to get a deeper understanding of where you're coming from. And I understand that's not an interest that a lot of people have. A lot of people are very content with this, like, I already have my understanding, and that's that. Um, and that's fine, but I saw this meme this morning. Read the meme. It says being taught to avoid talking about politics and religion has led to a lack of understanding about politics and religion. What we should have been taught was how to have a civil conversation about a difficult topic. Totally agree. Our discourse around important topics is just totally disintegrating because it's all happening online and we have no training in terms of how to have like a healthy conversation, whether it's pursuing the truth or just getting to know one another. That's not the context. We weren't taught how to do this. So we pretty much, in person at least, avoid these conversations. And then online, especially the most unhinged of us collectively, the ones that don't have anything else going on, just obsessively focus on these online conflicts and debates. And then we just get more and more polarized. I understand the desire to not want to talk about difficult topics and keep things easy. The challenge, though, is that if you really want to understand someone and empathize with their experience, what they're going through, you have to be able to at least understand their worldview and their ideas. Like, to someone that doesn't understand my views and how I perceive what's going on in the world over the past few years, it would be really impossible to truly see me and empathize with what I'm experiencing, because there's just you would lack the framework to do that. And I understand that's true with me and anyone else. Like if I'm truly interested in knowing a person and connecting with them, I don't have to debate or engage or in any sort of conflict with them, but I do have to fully understand their ideas. And a conversation that's missing for me is just like the people taking the time to really say, hey, I want to understand this position more. There's a lot of arrogance out there, and there's a lot of I already understand this position, so I'm just going to dunk on it, or I don't want to hear what this person has to say. um, I have people in my life that believe a lot of variety of things, in my family. Man, it's been important for me to maintain some level of connection and empathy. And because most don't want to engage in like conversation about it, one of the things I can do is just tune into media sources from um, different worldviews so that I can understand where different people are coming from. And that's really helpful for me because I truly want to know like what experience you're having. Um, and if I didn't want to know that about you, and I just wasn't interested in that, then that would be kind of suspect, right? We don't have to, get into arguments, and we don't even have to get into debates. But it's really helpful if we can, with people in our lives, if we want to stay connected, to really make the effort to understand their perspective, and if they're willing to engage in a dialogue about it, just for the purpose of, hey, let's understand one another more. Let's develop a deeper sense of empathy and connection with one another through sharing our opposing views. And if we're willing and open to it, let's actually play some of those views out and release our attachment, and to like try to grow intellectually and emotionally in the process. I wish I met more people that were interested in engaging in those conversations, but hey, it is what it is. Um, most of these conversations happen online now, and that's just the way it is. Part of what inspired me to start making videos was just being tired of making Facebook posts, trying to engage in conversation that doesn't really turn into conversation because we're missing so much of the human element. So I hope that in starting this channel, inviting people to participate and engage in some dialogue, we'll be able to make some more meaningful connections and actually expand in our perspective as we work together to pursue the truth. So thanks for tuning in. Peace out.